Hey everyone, welcome to Pokélosophy. Pokélosophy is my YouTube channel where I try to teach life and philosophy through the help of Pokemon. I am currently training up my Drowsy. I told you about a commitment I made. I decided to put Drowsy in my main lineup, hopefully turning into a Hypno, and in the meantime, I'm going to train up to level 25 before I move on to the next city. That is where I'm at right now, but I do have a bit of a plot twist I want to share with you. And let's go into it. What do we have here? We have an Abra. I didn't plan on catching one. As you know, I've been trying to catch one, then I kind of gave up, and then all of a sudden, a level 8 Abra showed up. And I'm like, whoa, that's different, because I only had level 10 and 12, so against a Drowsy that I was training up, I couldn't use Hypnosis because Abra would just teleport. And what happened was, level 8 was weak enough that Drowsy can go first despite it being a slower Pokemon. And I used Hypnosis, and next thing I know, I'm trying to catch an Abra that's sleeping. The first Pokeball attempt didn't work. Then I went to an Oddish, which is, I trained up to level, well, I didn't train up. The Daycare Center trained up to level 19 that I kind of grabbed for myself. And it ended up, I used Absorb twice and I caught the Abra. Now I have an Abra, which is kind of funny because I let it go and I moved on and it came back. The universe has a funny way of working that way, and this happened to me lots of times in my life where once I let something go, it comes back to me in this funny roundabout way. So what I'm going to do with this Abra, I'm actually going to drop it off at the Daycare Center right now. It's not going to be part of the main lineup. I want a Hypno. Hypno's great. But in the meantime, I do want to train it up, and I'm going to delegate, like in my last a few videos ago. We're just going to let this Pokemon be raised. And Abra doesn't have that same appeal as training a Magikarp does. Like, getting a Gyarados is like so much more symbolically important, as I explained in the past videos. But in any case, Mr. Daycare person, I will see you soon. Hopefully you will have a stronger Abra later with more moves other than teleport. So with that being said, let's go on to the quote that I want to talk about today. And it's a quote by Thomas Sowell. He is I believe he's an economist. I went through some of his work. I'm not super familiar with everything he's done, but he had some really interesting takes on culture and how it affects the social groups and how that affects the economy. And he's a hardcore capitalist from what I understand, but again, a lot of economists are, unless you're a Marxist economist. But either way, I like seeing perspectives on all sides. Really interesting character. And one of the things, and he's actually quite a dashing fellow here. I put a little grained up Weedle beside him. I thought it was quite fitting. In terms of the quote, this is a quote my friend mentioned, and he actually got it from him. And the quote is, "There are no solutions, only trade-offs." That's a really interesting way of looking at the world. And the way I kind of embody that quote in that no matter what you do in life, you're trading something for something, right? There's always a give some, lose some with whatever decision you make. And in Pokemon, there's a lot of that going on, right? Like, by picking a certain Pokemon, let's say a Charmander, that's a trade-off you're going to be making against your opponent, right? That's one. And in life, whatever you decide, you're saying no or shutting out an opportunity in your life because that's a trade-off you're accepting. Now, when it comes to problems, I think dealing with life's problems, like you always have to think about what's the scales of balance here. Like what exactly am I trying to figure out here, or what am I losing? What am I gaining from the situation? And in the end, that temporary solution or that trade-off will also turn into a problem, right? So there's no matter how you look at things, there will never be an end-all be-all solution. So I think this is kind of funny because this kind of reminds me of the Abra situation, in that my solution was forget about Abra, or my trade-off I would say was to forget about Abra and I'll figure a way out to train a Drowsy. Great. in a funny way, I got the Abra again, and now I have to trade off in terms of like, what do I do with this Abra? Because I have 3 psychic Pokemon at the moment, Butterfree, Drowsy, and Abra. What's the trade-off here? Well, the trade-off here is I don't want an Abra, so I'm gonna, so my solution would be delegating control to raising this Abra to the Daycare Center. I have no controls over the moves. It is what it is. But guess what? It gets me to level up a Pokemon, and that's that, right? It's a quick trade-off that I'm gonna make while I focus on training Drowsy. So that's a very simple example. Maybe not the most clearest, and I do apologize about that. But yeah, this, you know, everything in life is about trade-offs, and I think one of the cool things about games teach you that concept. And when it comes to, I'm just gonna heal my Drowsy before I go back to training. I always try to heal them up wherever I can. And here's an example of trade-off. Instead of how can I put this? I lost my train of thought. That's okay. In terms of, oh, I pressed A again. In terms of trade-offs, one of the things games teaches you, you kind of see that tit-for-tat behavior a lot more clearly in video games. And one of the things that... Wait, did I even drop it off? I did. Wow, I just forgot. I got so zoned into this video, which means I'm in a flow state, by the way, which is great. I kind of forgot that I dropped off the Abra right there. I thought I did, but then I just... Oh yeah, I remember saying bye. I am clearly not present right now, and therefore I'm going to end this video because I'm just rambling and not to waste your time. That's a trade-off, right? I guess my trade-off was focus. This is breaking my mind. Anyways. Subscribe. Subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. And look forward to see you from you soon. Take care. Bye.